Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to the second part of the quadratic equations. We give the definition of the quadratic equation to be the equation that can be written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. And we say the quadratic means it is equation of the second degree, x to power 2, and the variable is of the power 2. And also we mentioned that for this equation, we will have at maximum 2 solutions. It can be 2 distinct or 2 different real solutions, or it can be one solution repeated 2 times, or it can be 2 complex numbers. So in general, we say that for this equation, we'll have 2 solutions. And to solve the quadratic equation, we say that we have 4 methods. The first one will be by factoring, and this is the one that was discussed in the first part. And second method will be the taking the square root. Third one will be by completing the square, and the fourth method will be the quadratic formula. In this part, we are going to speak about the solving quadratic equation by taking the square root. So we have to mention this property for the square root. The square root procedure that if we have x squared equal to c, then x can be written as the square root of the constant c, or x can be equal to minus the square root of the constant c. So it can also be written as x equal to plus or minus the square root of the constant c. So we are going to use this property to solve the quadratic equations. And these are some examples. If x squared equal to 9, then x can be is equal to square root of 9, which is equal to 3, or minus square root of 9, which is equal to minus 3. So we are going to have 2 solutions for the variable x. It is plus or minus 3. If x equal to 7, then x can be written as plus or minus square root of 7. And in case that x equal to minus 4, negative number, then x equal to square root of minus 4, which is equal to 2i. This is a complex number, or it is minus square root of minus 4, which is equal to minus 2i. So these are this is the technique of using square roots. Let's have some examples. Use the square root procedure to solve the equation. Example number 11, 13, 15, these are exercises. X equal to 81. So to find the solution set for the first equation, the first one, I will take the square root. So I will say x equals square root of 81, or x equal to minus square root of 81. So it either will be plus or minus square root of 81. So we can say that x is equal to plus or minus 9. So the solution for this equation is plus or minus 9. X is equal to plus or minus 9. For the second one, I have y squared equal to 24. So I can say y equal to plus or minus square root of 24 directly. So y equal to plus or minus square root of 24. This can be simplified to be 2 to the plus or minus 2 square root of 6. For the third one, I have z squared equal to minus 16. So we can say that z in this case plus or minus square root of minus 16. Now what is inside the square sign is negative number, so this will give me complex. So it will be plus or minus square root of 16 is equal to 4i. So the solution for the last equation will be z equal to plus or minus 4i. So we can see that for each quadratic equation, we must have two solutions. The two solutions must be different, plus or minus two different numbers, or it can be the same with multiplicity 2, and this will be discussed later on, or it can be complex numbers. More example for this procedure. So we will have x plus 4 to the power 2 equal to 121. Again, we are going to take the square root for this equation. We can say take the square root for both sides. This if we have square or variable to power 2 only with some number. If we have just only 2, then we can just take the square root. So if we take the square root, it will be x plus 4 to power 2 equals square root of 121. So this is square. We'll cancel the square root. I will have x plus 4. But to find the other side, 121, as we said, for the procedure, this must be plus or minus. So this will give me plus or minus 11. Square root of that 121 is plus or minus 11. So it means that we are going to have two equations, x plus 4 equal to plus 11, or x plus 4 equal to minus 11. First one, I will have x equal to plus 11 minus 4. So x equal to 7. The second one, x equal to minus 11 minus 4. So x will be minus 15. So the solution set now for this equation will be 7 or minus 15. So again, if we have square equal to something, we can get rid of the square by taking the square root for the left-hand side and the right-hand side, and then solve the equation. One more question. I have 5 multiplied by x minus 2 to the power 2 minus 45 equal to 0. If it is in this form, I cannot take the square root. We have to leave the square in one side and the constant to the right-hand side. So I need to simplify it, or to put it in just one term in the left-hand side and one term in the right-hand side, or the remaining will be in the right-hand side. So I'll have 5 multiplied by x minus 2 to the power 2 equal. I'm going to move this to the other side, will be 45. Now divide by the coefficient, which is 5 in this case. I will have x minus 2 square equal to 9. Now take the square root to the left-hand side and the right-hand side. This will give me x. That if we take the square root, I will have x minus 2 equal plus or minus 3. We take the square root, will be plus or minus square root of 9, which is equal to plus or minus 3. So I'm going to have two equations, x minus 2 equal to plus 3, or x minus 2 equal to minus 3. This one, x will give me 3 plus 2, which is equal to 5. Or x equal to minus 3 plus 2, which is equal to minus 1. The solution set for this one, to 5 or minus 1. So the idea is to keep the variable with the square in the left-hand side and the constant or the other term with the right-hand side, and then solve it. For the last example, in this case, I have 5 or 4 multiplied by x minus 2 to the power 2 plus 15. Again, keep this number the right-hand side. I will have 4 multiplied by x minus 2 square equal to minus 15. Take the square root, the left-hand side, or before that, let's divide by the coefficient, by 4. And I will have x minus 2 to power 2 equal minus 15 divided by 4. Now take the square root. And taking the square root, for the left-hand side, it is x minus 2. It will be plus or minus square root of minus 15 divided by 4. Now move this minus 2 to the other side. I will have x equal to plus or minus. Since we have negative inside the square root, it should be for all numbers. Then I will have I. This negative inside the square root will give me I. Complex number. Write it down. I will have x equal to plus or minus I square root of 15 and square root of 4 is equal to 2. So the solution for this equation is x equal to 2 plus or minus I square root of 15 divided by 2. I have two complex roots or solutions for this quadratic equation. So this is the idea of how to solve a quadratic equation by taking the square root. We must have square in the left-hand side equal number or constant to the right-hand side or some expression. So just to get rid of the square of the variable in the left-hand side, we will take the square root for the left-hand side and right-hand side and then solve the equations.